Hey everyone, just going to run you through Wednesday's training session. This was the last day I could test my 1 rep maxes on my accessory lifts post meet, and I'm doing this so that moving forward I have a better understanding of where my strength lies with my accessories, so that with that understanding I can move forward a little bit more accurately in building the strength of my primary accessory lifts to my bench press and my deadlift. Previously I tested my front squat and I got a 405. Pretty difficult, but pretty smooth. So feel good about that. This will be a 1 rep max on my sumo deadlift and my close grip bench press. A true close grip bench press with my index fingers touching the smooth, and it will be paused. Now, historically, I had started powerlifting pulling sumo. My best sumo pull as a powerlifter was a 529 pull in competition at 146 pounds body weight, so a pretty decent pull. Then it got stuck and it wouldn't budge. I gained 20 pounds of body weight and it still wouldn't budge, and that's when I decided to change over to conventional pulling, and this happened just March of last year. So it's been about a year since I had trained and really tested my sumo pull. Last time I tested it, I got a very difficult 535, and that had tied the most I had ever locked out, but it was a red light in competition. So this right here will be 545. It's going to be a 10-pound PR. It comes up pretty smooth. Don't really like the lockout. I knew I had a little bit more in me, so I made a reasonable jump up in weight to 555, and I'll get this lift. Right now though, got to pump up the jam. Got to turn on the music in the headphones, get that motivation to 11, and flip the switch, go full blast, crank out a PR. Now, with these particular sumo deadlifts, these were intentionally a little bit wider than what I would usually go on the sumo deadlift, because I know that my glutes are a weakness in my deadlift and in my squat as well. So with a wider stance sumo deadlift, I personally feel it a little bit more in my glutes, and so I'm moving my stance out wider than normal so that I can train my glutes a little bit more directly while sumo deadlifting. And I'll probably continue to train it that way. It might not be the most optimal way to pull sumo. However, if I do want to move permanently over to a sumo deadlift in the future, I know that I could be stronger in a wider stance, so that if I move a little bit closer in, I'll certainly be more strongerist, or words. So yeah, that's the sumo deadlift. Here's the close grip bench press, you guys. Moving to a close grip bench press here. I haven't tested this in a while. Last week I think I got 315 for 2, and this week I just wanted to get a reasonable 1 rep max, and I definitely get one. Fairly difficult, but I still get a new 1 rep max that I'm happy with. Now, moving forward with the sumo deadlift and the close grip bench press, I'm going to work on improving these two lifts because they are a more difficult variation of my competition movements. And that goes back to what I was talking about previously in other training videos, talking about the conjugate system. And I'm not talking about Westside specifically, I'm just talking about the basic idea of a conjugated training system. And conjugated is a fancy word that people try to throw around to sound smart, but the gist of it is you take a shitload of movements and you try to get strong in one of them at a time, so that at the end of a long training cycle you become stronger across a variety of lifts, so that then when you tailor your approach to a competition, you build in that specificity into your training and you dial in your competition technique. That prior strength that you had built over the course of a few months in a variety of lifts will hopefully translate into being stronger overall. And that's why I've said in this video previously, and the title of this video is Strength Begets Strength. And that's the idea that if you just get fucking strong, you're gonna be stronger. Sometimes it's not about perfecting your technique. That, although, is a very important thing. Sometimes you just gotta get stronger. And it doesn't have to be in your competition movement. It could be in something else. If your competition movement has stagnated, maybe find and identify the point at which it's stagnated and make that muscle bigger. Or train a movement variation from your competition movement, get stronger in that, and then maybe you'll be better in competition. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.